Hello, dear students. Myself, Dr. A.K. Mishra, working as Professor and Head in the Department of Chemistry, Nagarjuna PG College of Science. Today I will explain the topic Anatomy of Heart under the chapter Cardiovascular Drugs, which is in your 4th year syllabus, paper 2nd, unit 4. Today I will explain the general anatomy of heart externally and internally, the various parts of heart, their different valves, way of working, circulation of blood, origin, conduction and regulation of heartbeat, and at the last, heart rate. It's general concept. So now let us start sequentially. In general, in the introductory part, we know that the heart is one of the most important organ in the entire human body. It is really nothing more than a pump composed of muscles which pump blood throughout the body, beating approximately 72 times per minute of our lives. The hearts pump the blood which carries all the vital material which helps our body function and remove the waste products that we do not need. For example, our brain requires oxygen and glucose continuously. But if there is an interruption in the supply of blood, so we may cause unconsciousness. Similarly, muscle needs oxygen, glucose, amino acids, as well as proper ratio of sodium, calcium and potassium salts in order to contract normally. As far as the heart is concerned, it is made up of powerful muscle called myocardium. The myocardium is composed of cardiac muscle fiber that contracts and causes a wringing type of action. The location of heart is about left center of your chest. It is covered with a protective covering as mentioned in the slide, which is known as pericardium. The pericardium is actually layered structure. It is two layered sac, and in between these two layers a fluid is there which is known as pericardial fluid. Actually this pericardium, it is known as protective covering because it saves the heart from mechanical injury and acts as shock absorber, and because fluid is there, so it allows free movement of the heart. The heart works as two separate pumps that continuously sends blood throughout the body, carrying nutrients, oxygen and helping for the removal of harmful wastes. The right side of the heart receives blood which is low in oxygen, while the left side of the heart receives blood that has been oxygenated by the lung. The blood is then pumped out into the aorta and from there to all parts of the body. Here in diagram in the slide, two colors are there. One is blue and another is red. The blue component indicates the deoxygenated blood pathway, while the red component indicates oxygenated pathway. The heart is composed of three layers. The upper one is known as visceral layer, the middle one is myocardium, and the third layer is called endocardium. The heart has four chambers, two superior atria and two inferior ventricle. There is a word sulci or grooves which can be seen in the which can be seen externally, which divides atria into two parts, left and right, and similarly the ventricle divides into two parts like left and right ventricle. So overall the heart has 4 chambers, 2 superior atria and 2 inferior ventricle. As you know that atria are the receiving chambers and the ventricle are the discharging chamber. The pathway of blood through the heart consists of pulmonary circuit and systemic circuit. This is a very specific word here, pulmonary circuit and systemic circuit. I will explain under the subheading circulation of blood later on. The pathway of blood is from the heart to the aorta, which is the great artery, and from there the blood is supplied to the various part of the body. And this is done by, the whole circulation is done by 4 valves, which is tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, aortic semilunar valve and the pulmonary semilunar valve. So by that way, in general, this is the external structure of the heart. Now come to the more detail about the heart. As you know that the wall of the heart are made up of 3 layers, and while the cavity is divided into 4 parts, as you know that it is called left and right atria, and the lower one is called the left and right ventricle. The right atrium receives blood from the upper and lower part of the body through superior vena cava and inferior vena cava respectively, and from the muscle, heart muscle itself, through the coronary sinus. The right atrium is larger, having very thin wall. This is the very specific property of the right auricle. The right auricle opens into the right ventricle through a right atrioventricular valve, which is also known as tricuspid valve. And the unique property of this tricuspid valve is that it only allows the blood to flow from atria into the ventricle, but not in the reverse direction. Means the working of this valve is unidirectional, you can say like that. The right atrium pumps the blood to the lungs to be reoxygenated. Now come to the left atrium, receives blood from the lung via 4 pulmonary veins. The left atrium is smaller than the right atrium but has thicker wall. The left atrium wall is thicker and is smaller in size. The valve between the left atrium and the left ventricle is known as left atrioventricular valve, which is also known as bicuspid valve. And naturally the bicuspid valve is 2-flapped, while the tricuspid valve is 3-flapped. So bicuspid is smaller than the tricuspid one. It opens into the left ventricle and again is a one-way valve. The left ventricle pumps the blood throughout the body, which is the aorta, the largest artery in the body, which originates from the left ventricle. So it is very important to remember that aorta originates from which ventricle? Left ventricle. The heart works as pump, moving blood around in our body to nourish every cell. Used blood. What is the meaning of used blood? That is blood that has been to the cell and has given up its nutrient to them, is drawn from the body by the right half of the heart and then sent to the lung to be reoxygenation. Blood that has been reoxygenated by the lung is drawn into the left side of the heart and then pumped into the blood stream. It is the atria that draw the blood from the lung and body, and the ventricles that pump it to the lung and body. The output of each ventricle per beat is about 70 ml, but it is not the fixed quantity. It is age related also and depend upon the metabolic activity of the body. So how much volume of blood is ejected from the heart per unit time is known as cardiac output. I will discuss this later on. So conclusively, if I say the important point of the heart, that is right atrium, you know it is larger than the left and has thinner wall. The right atrium has two major veins, superior and inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava receives blood from upper part of the body, while the inferior vena cava receives the blood from lower part of the body. And the right atrium also receives blood back from the heart muscle itself. After the blood is collected into the right atrium, it is pumped into the right ventricle through which valve? Through right atrioventricular valve, which is also known as tricuspid valve. Now, the left atrium receives blood from pulmonary vein. The blood received from the lung has been oxygenated. The oxygenated blood that is collected in left atrium is then pumped into the left ventricle through which valve? Through bicuspid valve. Now come to the ventricle side, that is right ventricle receives blood from right atrium. The heart contracts the blood, is forced out through the pulmonary semilunar valve into the pulmonary artery, and the pulmonary semilunar valve is a three-flap valve that stops backflow of blood. The wall of the right ventricle are a little thicker than the right atrium. Okay. Now come to the point of left ventricle. The chamber of the left ventricle has wall that are 3 times the thickness of right ventricle. This is very important point, and point to remember that the wall of left ventricle is almost 3 times thicker than the wall of right ventricle. And this is very important because the oxygenated blood that it receives from the left atrium has to pump throughout the body. So more force is required. So more muscular structure is required. The bicuspid valve closes and the blood is collected into the left ventricle, and the closing of bicuspid valve stops the backflow of blood as usual. When the heart muscle contracts, the blood is forced through the aortic semilunar valve, which has the same feature as the pulmonary valve. The blood then passes through the aortic semilunar valve into the aorta. Now come to the important point. Aorta is the largest blood vessel in the body. You will feel wonder to know that the inner diameter of the aorta is about 1 inch. 1 inch. The aorta carries deoxygenated blood to every other part of the body. The aorta receives its blood from the left ventricle. Septum, I have already explained, which can be seen externally. Interauricular septum, interventricular septum, auriculoventricular septum is there. Superior and inferior. You just have a look on the slide where all the 4 parts of the heart are shown, right, left auricle, ventricle, aortic valves is there, pulmonary valve is there, inferior and superior vena cava and aorta is there. And the lining, arrow mark indicates the circulation of blood inside the heart, which indicates the entry and exit of the blood. Okay. Now here you can see the tricuspid and bicuspid valve position, the position of pulmonary vein, and the other parts of the heart. That is the internal structure of the heart. This is the general description of semilunar valve. Okay. Now the question is how the heart is working. How the heart is working. So the heart is working through a systolic and diastolic phenomena. Systolic means contraction, diastolic means relaxation. So there is an alternate process of contraction and relaxation of heart, and this is very important for the working of the heart. As you know that right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from different part of the body and from the heart muscle itself through the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and coronary sinus, and the left atrium receives oxygenated blood, and all these blood which are in the heart are circulated throughout the body. But the point of origin of contraction of blood, contraction of atria, is initiated by SA node, sinoatrial node. Sinoatrial node is that starting point which contracts the atria at the very first step, and this contraction wave spreads across the wall of the atria via muscle fiber. The originating point is SA node, which is the waves are received by AV node, atrioventricular node, and these impulses are extended and transmitted to the various parts of the ventricle via bundle of His and Purkinje fibers. So during the contraction of ventricle, the backflow of blood into the atria is prevented by the both valve like bicuspid and tricuspid valve, and the semilunar valve prevent backflow of blood from the aorta to the pulmonary trunk. So by that way, the oxygenated blood is supplied to the various part of the body, including heart itself, and at the same time the oxygenated blood is forced to the lungs for reoxygenation. So this is the actually working of heart. Working of heart is based on systolic and diastolic condition of the auricle and ventricle. Now come to the next point of circulation of blood. How the blood is circulated. I have told you about the 2 points, the pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Actually, the blood, impure and pure blood, they are completely separated from each other, and they are circulated in different pathway. So actually the human heart blood circulation is known as double circulation. The pathway of pure blood is different from that of the deoxygenated blood. There is no mixing of both the bloods. So blood returning from heart from various part of the body except lung enters into which atrium? Right atrium. Passes to right ventricle through tricuspid valve. From the right ventricle, the blood is pumped into the pulmonary trunk. Okay, and because the blood is deoxygenated, so for oxygenation it moves towards the pulmonary arteries of the lung. Blood from the lung, which is oxygenated, return to the left ventricle, left auricle and then left ventricle, and from the left ventricle the blood is pumped into the aorta and then to the various part of the body except lung. So the route followed by the blood from heart and lung and back is known as pulmonary circulation. So what is pulmonary circulation? It is the route of blood from heart to lung and back is known as pulmonary circulation. Then what is systemic circulation? Systemic circulation is the route of blood from heart to the body except lung and back is known as systemic circulation. So this double circulation is very important. You just have a look on this diagrammatic representation. The upper side is noted as deoxygenated blood, while the lower portion of this row diagram indicates oxygenated blood. The right side of this slide called pulmonary circulation, while the left one is called systemic circulation. So from right ventricle, blood goes to lungs for purification and the oxygenated blood is there, and from left auricle to left ventricle and to the various parts of the body, that is the except lung is known as systemic circulation. So because the pulmonary circulation or systemic and systemic circulation, or you can say deoxygenated blood or oxygenated blood are not mixing with each other. So double circulation is there. That's why it is a unique feature of the blood circulation in human being and is called as double blood circulation. You just have a look on this slide. This is the pathway of blood flow. One is indicated by blue color and other one is the red color. The blue means the oxygen poor, deoxygenated blood which enters from the heart, from the various parts of the body and goes out to the lungs for purification. And the red arrow mark indicate the oxygen rich blood, means oxygenated blood enters the heart from the lung and goes out of the body. So this is here you can see that is a clear cut pathway of the heart. There is no mixing of any type of blood inside the heart. So there is a separate circulation. That's why it is known as double blood circulation. Now at the last, heartbeat. Heartbeat, as I have told you, that the heartbeat is dependent upon the systolic and diastolic property, and it is 72 times per minute for a healthy person, but it is not a fixed quantity. It depends upon the metabolic rate of the body and it is age related too. So heartbeat is the contraction and relaxation of heart in per unit time. That is called heartbeat. Origin of heartbeat is concerned, so you know the human heart is myogenic, means it is originated from muscles and controlled and regulated by nerves. So the point of origin of heartbeat, as I have told you, that it is SA node, which is known as pacemaker. Pacemaker is very important organ which lies near the right atrium, near the opening of the superior vena cava. And if it is not working properly, so surgical grafting is required, artificial pacemaker is required in the chest of the patient that regulates the generation of impulse in a proper way. So this generated impulse is conducted and regulated in the heart. So first of all, the conduction of heartbeat, you know that SA node is responsible for the generation of impulse that is received by AV node. AV node further divide into two branches. It is made up of a specialized mass of fiber and spread over the ventricle, myocardium portion of the ventricle, and there is you can say that is a fine fiber network is there which is known as Purkinje fiber. So SA node is point of generation, AV node is point of receiving and propagation, and the impulse goes to the ventricle via bundle of His and Purkinje fibers. So in that way the heartbeat is conducted, and the heartbeat is regulated in two ways. One may be nervous regulation and other is hormonal. As far as nervous regulation is concerned, so it is there is a cardiac center which lies in the medulla oblongata of the brain. Medulla oblongata is the posterior portion of the brain, and this is formed of cardio inhibitor and cardio accelerator parts. Two parts are there. As the name indicates, cardio inhibitor means which inhibits the process of heartbeats, while the cardio accelerator parts accelerates or increase or enhance the heart rate. And this is cardio inhibitor is connected with the heart through vagus nerves, and it carries the parasympathetic nerve fibers. Hormonal regulation means there are two hormones are important, adrenaline and noradrenaline, which is also known as epinephrine and norepinephrine respectively, and which are secreted by the adrenal gland. Noradrenaline accelerates the heartbeat under normal condition, while the adrenaline at the time of emergency, and both these hormones directly influence the sinoatrial node. At the very last point of this topic is heart rate. Rate means that is something per unit of time. we are considering the heart is related with pulse or beat, so you can say the pulse per minute is called the heart rate. I told you that it is 72 times per minute in the rest position of a adult person, but it is not the fixed quantity. Heart rate may increase or decrease. It is increased during the exercise, during the anger, during the fever, during the fear, and it is directly related with the metabolic activity of the body. So if the metabolic activity of the body is high, so definitely the heart rate will be higher, and the vice versa. If the metabolic rate is low, so the heart rate will be lower. You can compare. The very interesting point to note that elephant and rat can be compared. Elephant is a very big animal and very lazy animal, so their metabolic activity is low. Then heart rate is about just 25 beats per minute, whereas the rat is very small animal and the heart rate is higher and it goes up to several hundreds per minute. So this is general concept of the heart rate. So I have sequentially explained the external and internal features of the heart, their parts, their different valves, the conduction of the heartbeat, the circulation of blood, specificity of the blood circulation, how the heartbeat is regulated, and what is the meaning of heart rate. So this was under the topic anatomy of heart. I think you can understand, and you go through the slide, you go through what I explained. In case of any difficulty, please contact to me. Thank you very much.